Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Ridge's Caveman act has fans done. Brooke deserves better than this toxic cycle. Ridge Forrester's caveman mentality erupts in Italy as he can't stand Nick Marone proposing to Brooke. But wasn't he just engaged to Taylor? Fans are done with this toxic cycle. Ridge's caveman mentality exposed. Italy drama proves he sees Brooke as property, not a partner. The most infuriating love triangle in daytime has fans screaming, "Oh, my God." Just when we thought Ridge Forrester couldn't sink any lower, the Italy storyline has exposed him for exactly what he is. A possessive, hypocritical caveman who treats Brooke Logan like his personal yo-yo. And fans? We're done. Absolutely, completely. Throw our emotes at the TV done. Let me paint you a picture of pure hypocrisy, soap fans. This man, this Neanderthal of a man, literally dumped Brooke because she had the audacity to support her daughter Hope at Forrester Creations. Called it a betrayal. Ran straight into Taylor Hayes' arms. Got engaged to Taylor. But wait, the second Nick Marone shows up in Italy and dares to look at Brooke with actual respect, Ridge loses his mind. 35 years of toxic possessiveness, and we've had enough. Listen, I've been watching this show since the beginning. I've seen Ridge marry Brooke's mother, her sister, his own father's ex-wives. Through it all, one thing has remained constant. Ridge Forrester wants to treat Brooke however he pleases. But God forbid another man shows her an ounce of genuine affection. The Italy drama, it's the perfect example of his twisted mindset. Picture this. Ridge arrives in Naples for a fashion show, supposedly committed to his future with Taylor. He's moved on, right? Wrong. The moment he spots Nick taking Brooke on a romantic boat ride, offering her the love and respect she deserves, Ridge's jealous rage erupts like Mount Vesuvius. And then, Nick actually proposes to Brooke. Offers her a future free from the endless back and forth, the constant betrayals, the exhausting cycle of being Ridge's backup plan. Does Ridge respect Brooke's right to move on? Does he acknowledge that he left her? Of course not. The heroic rescue that has fans rolling their eyes. Now here's where it gets absolutely ridiculous. Brooke falls into the water. And suddenly, Ridge has an epiphany. One dramatic rescue later, and he's overcome with the realization that Brooke is his soulmate, his destiny. Really? Where was this destiny when he was calling her support of Hope a betrayal? Where was it when he was slipping an engagement ring on Taylor's finger? Where was this earth-shattering love when he was storming out of their home again? I'll tell you where it was. Nowhere. Because Ridge Forrester doesn't actually love Brooke Logan. He loves owning her. He loves knowing she's there, waiting, whenever he decides to grace her with his presence. Fans are speaking out, and we're not holding back. Social media is on fire with viewers calling out Ridge's toxic behavior. One fan perfectly summed it up. He's a malignant narcissist who sees women as property, not partners. Another wrote, 35 years of watching Ridge treat Brooke like his personal yo-yo, and I'm done. The consensus is clear. This isn't romance. It's possession. It's control. It's a man who demands absolute loyalty while offering none in return. And poor Taylor? Once again, she's been chosen, celebrated, engaged to, only to be unceremoniously dumped the moment Ridge feels his ownership of Brooke threatened. She deserves better than being his safety net. His tissue he blows his nose with whenever he misjudges Brooke, as one viewer brutally but accurately put it. The exhausting pattern we've seen too many times. Let's break down the Ridge Forrester playbook, shall we? Step 1. Brooke does something completely normal. Step 2. Ridge declares himself betrayed and storms off to Taylor. Step 3. Ridge and Taylor get cozy, maybe even engaged. Step 4. Another man shows interest in Brooke. Step 5. Ridge has a sudden realization about destiny and true love. Step 6. Ridge dumps Taylor and wins Brooke back. Step 7, repeat. Forever. Until the end of time. We've watched this cycle for 35 years. The specific details change. Sometimes it's a business conflict. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding. Sometimes it's a manipulative scheme by a family member. But the core dynamic never evolves. Ridge never apologizes, never grows, never acknowledges his double standards or his toxic behavior. He just swoops in with grand gestures and declarations of destiny, and we're supposed to swoon. Not anymore. Is this really destiny or just dysfunction? The show keeps pushing this narrative that Ridge and Brooke are destined to be together. Executive producer Bradley Bell has even stated that Brooke is destined to win Ridge back. But here's my question. Is it really destiny when one partner treats the other like a possession? When jealousy only kicks in at the threat of competition? When love is reactive, not proactive? What we're watching isn't an epic romance. It's a cautionary tale about toxic relationships. Ridge doesn't want Brooke to be happy. He wants her to be his. There's a massive difference, and it's time the writers acknowledged it. Hope on the horizon? Nick Marone offers a different path. Here's what gives me hope. Nick Marone is offering Brooke something Ridge never has: genuine respect and partnership. Nick doesn't see Brooke as a prize to be won or property to be guarded. He sees her as a woman deserving of consistent love, trust, and loyalty. Novel concept, right? The question is, will Brooke finally break free from this toxic cycle? Will she choose herself for once? Or will she fall for Ridge's water rescue heroics and his sudden clarity about their destiny? What happens next? The predictable future, based on 35 years of evidence. Here's what we can expect. Ridge and Brooke will reunite in a passionate, dramatic reconciliation. They'll declare their eternal love. Taylor will be heartbroken and humiliated. Nick will conveniently disappear from the canvas. For about 5 minutes, everything will be perfect. Then Hope and Steffi will clash over something at Forrester Creations. Ridge will side with Steffi. Brooke will defend Hope. Ridge will declare this another betrayal and storm off to Taylor's arms. Rinse. Repeat. Ad nauseum. Unless it's time for real change. Unless the writers finally decide to evolve this character beyond his caveman mentality. Unless they acknowledge that in 2025, this possessive, controlling behavior isn't romantic, it's problematic. Fans are begging for growth. For Ridge to actually examine his patterns and change. For Brooke to realize she deserves better than being someone's backup plan. For both women to reject this toxic man and choose themselves. Will it happen? In the world of soap operas where people come back from the dead and secret twins pop up every sweeps week, anything's possible. But I'm not holding my breath. What I do know is this. The viewers see through the destiny narrative. We recognize toxic behavior when we see it, and we're ready for something better. Ridge Forrester treating Brooke Logan like his personal property while running to Taylor whenever he's upset? That's not a love story. That's a cautionary tale that's gone on 35 years too long. Your turn, soap fans. Am I being too harsh on Ridge? Have you had enough of this toxic cycle? Team Nick or Team Brooke should be single? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because if we scream loud enough, maybe the writers will finally give these characters the growth they desperately need. Nick's boat proposal, Ridge's daring move, Eric's fury. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Friday, August 1st, 2025. Fans can expect Nick Marone to plan to propose on a boat. However, with Brooke Logan falling into the water, Ridge Forrester could make a daring rescue attempt. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera, Eric Forrester's Fury. Let's start off with Eric Forrester, who had a furious encounter with Nick at the fashion show. The patriarch warned Ridge's rival to steer clear of Brooke. However, the seaman has never been one to take orders from others. Meanwhile, Brooke finally decided she couldn't do this with Ridge anymore. The constant roller coaster of her heart just can't take it anymore. Instead of letting Brooke go in peace, he tried to hold on. Read this. Find out what happened on the last episode of B&B. Brooke Logan's fall. After Brooke finally walked away from Ridge, she didn't look back. Not once. Brooke always looks back when walking away from Ridge. So, she might truly be done with him and ready for her adventure with Nick. Unfortunately, it seems that Nick's boat proposal will go wrong. Brooke somehow falls into the water. I wonder if instead of surprising Brooke, Nick stuns her, making it his fault that she nearly drowns. Ridge Forrester's rescue mission. When Brooke falls off the boat, it seems that Ridge will be there to save the day. In the past, soaps would have that rescue, compel Bridge to be together again. However, I am hoping that Brooke thanks him and then accepts Nick's proposal. That would be soap gold, and fans would finally cheer. It might be a long shot, but we could get lucky with a last-minute twist. Friday, August 1st, 2025. Back in Los Angeles, we might see Sheila Carter-Sharp try to track down Lee Finnegan. The waitress is a pro at stalking, so it shouldn't be too hard to trail the good doctor. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp is trying to support Sheila through her grief. However, Deacon also needs someone to talk to about his feelings, which are very different from Sheila's. Since it's a Friday, could we also see Luna Nozawa wake up? Will she have any memory of what's happened? Will Luna wake up with a new personality? Will she try to trick Lee into thinking she's changed? This could go a lot of ways, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, August 1st, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Sheila suspects Nick's fight, Brooke nostalgic. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Fans can expect Sheila Carter-Sharp to get suspicious of Lee Finnegan. Nick Marone gets into a fight with Ridge Forrester. Plus, Brooke Logan gets nostalgic. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Brooke Logan nostalgic. After the fashion show, Brooke and Ridge had pictures taken by the press. Brooke played along for a little bit. However, after a reporter asked about Ridge and Taylor Hayes' engagement, Brooke took off. Ridge raced after her, and she was finally fed up and brutally honest. The on and off dynamics are killing her, and she can't go through it anymore. Brooke felt compelled to leave, but Ridge wouldn't let her. Now, Brooke will think about all the memories associated with Italy. Read this. Find out what happened on the last episode of B&B. Nick Marone versus Ridge Forrester. Nick just happened to catch a ride to Capri to find Brooke. However, Eric Forrester declared that Nick was not welcome there. Nick isn't one to take no for an answer. Then, it is teased that Nick and Ridge will get into a fight. Sheila Carter-Sharp suspects. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, July 31st reveal that Sheila will suspect that Lee is hiding something about Luna. The waitress tried to say a final goodbye, but Lee told her the service had already been handled. That's the same thing Lee said after John Finnegan's fake death, too. Sheila can't even get the location of where Luna is buried. That alone is making her suspicious. The more that Sheila thinks about it, the more she realizes that Luna might not be dead at all. Read this, the bold and the beautiful spoilers. Bill Spencer gets bad news about Liam. Deacon Sharp's support. Despite Deacon's feelings for Luna, he knows that Sheila is grieving. Deacon will try to be a good husband and support his wife during her mourning. However, it won't be easy for Deacon, especially since Luna was the one who killed Tom Starr and Paul Hollister. Deacon was close to both of those men and couldn't bring himself to look at Luna as anything other than a cold-blooded killer. There should also be some news on Liam Spencer's recovery. Finn is investigating, but Grace Buckingham has already made some sloppy mistakes. Brooke blasts Ridge and runs off with Nick. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, July 31st, state that Lee Finnegan will reject Sheila Sharp's plea while Brooke Logan blasts Ridge Forrester and storms off with Nick Marone. Now that Brooke has been swept up in all the memories of Italy and the media limelight with Ridge, She's doubting why she even came. Being near Ridge like this is just too much. So Brooke is obviously struggling right now. Of course, Nick will aim to distract Brooke and show her a new road forward. When Nick encourages Brooke to depart for some Italy fun, Ridge will stand in the way and get into a furious showdown with his rival. B&B teasers suggest Brooke will decide she's had enough of Ridge being so possessive when he refuses to reunite with her. After Brooke puts Ridge on full blast, she'll rush off with Nick and let him dazzle her with some romantic moments together. Nick will prepare to take Brooke out on the boat and give a marriage proposal to remember, so he'll undoubtedly have huge plans. Meanwhile, Lee will hide a devastating fact back in Los Angeles. Sheila is yearning for some closure regarding Luna Nozoa. Therefore, she's been pushing for answers about Luna's ashes or grave. Despite Sheila's plea, Lee won't give her the response she's searching for. Instead, Lee will just explain that there's nothing she can do for Sheila now and perhaps push her to just move on with her life. When Lee tells Sheila to let things go, she's only going to add to Sheila's doubts. Sheila can't stop thinking about Luna and will continue to focus on her after Lee's unusual reply to her inquiry. The weirder Lee acts, the more certain Sheila will get that she's got something to conceal. B&B fans know that Lee is indeed keeping Luna's survival under wraps as she's caring for her comatose niece and granddaughter behind closed doors. Sheila has a sixth sense about Lee, and Brooke chooses after a confrontation. In Italy, Brooke tells Ridge she can't stay, she has to leave. She doesn't know why she came to Capri with him. There are too many memories. He coaxes her to stay. Brooke laments that everywhere she turns, someone wants to take pictures of them. She had to answer question after question about him and Taylor and their ludicrous engagement. Well, screw you. She's going to run off with Nick and forget she ever met him. Brooke, Ridge, B&B. Ridge tells Brooke it's going to be okay. She responds it's not, this was a mistake. Ridge said everyone is excited to see her. Brooke claims Ridge isn't. Nick, meantime, wants to sweep her off her feet. It feels amazing to be wanted like she's the only lady in the world. He looks at her with desire and passion, the way Ridge used to look at her. More heinous twist in Liam's story still to come. At the gathering, Eric tells Nick this is a private event. He says he's only looking for Brooke. Eric doubts what it is exactly that he desires. He's on to him and his designs on Brooke. Nick confronts him for having Ridge and Taylor staying in his house when he knows he's come there to get Brooke and Ridge back together again. Eric smirks. He won't deny that he wants Brooke with Ridge. His son is happy with her than with anybody else. Nick feels that's bad news for his fiancée. He complains about Eric repeatedly placing Brooke in situations with his son and problematic family. Eric advises Nick to keep away from Brooke. Once alone, Nick spots Brooke and Ridge bickering by the water. Nick, Eric, B&B. More, meet B&B's new Stephanie. Brooke tells Ridge she's in one of the beautiful places in the world with the man she loves, but she shouldn't be feeling this way. She is because they're not together. Nick appears and complains about Ridge making Brooke miserable. Ridge insists this doesn't involve him. Nick argues that it does. He's stepping in. Ridge tells him he can go. Nick asks what Brooke wants. Here is her chance to leap off the merry-go-round with his man once and for all. Nick, Brooke, Ridge, B&B. Holding out his hand, he adds, "Come with me." Brooke takes Nick's hand and walks away with him. Ridge watches them go. Ridge, B&B. Will Electra take on a new role? At Forrester, in the design office, Electra and will wish they might have gone to Italy. They look at the images everyone's posting, and Will tells his girlfriend she should be there promoting the company. She'd be the hottest model ever. She reminds him she designs jewelry. They kiss and go over how they'll never have to worry about Luna ever again. Will crew Electra B&B. Sitting, Will and Electra go over how crazy and dangerous Luna was. He shouldn't have been startled. She was capable of drawing a pistol on him. They recap that he could have ended up shot too. Will says he's okay, and he never would have let Luna damage her. Electra repeats that Luna is gone forever. They agree she brought this all upon herself. It's hard to think she was related to someone like Finn. Will says the essential thing is that everyone's safe and she's gone. They're entitled to feel good about that. Will Sheila let it go? At Il Giardino, Sheila tells Lee she wants to say goodbye to her granddaughter. She loved her. She misses her. Where can I go to do that? Lee tries to give her the brush off and just wants her takeout. Sheila wants to know, where is she? She reminds Lee she's not the enemy and tried to help her. Lee snaps. There's nothing you can do for her now. They quarrel as Sheila reveals she advised Luna to leave Finn alone and move on with her future. She's grieving the woman she may have been. Lee snaps that she's not doing this with her and leaves her appetite, storming out. Deacon enters and asks Sheila if she found out anything about Luna. She murmurs no. Sheila B&B. Deacon asks Sheila if she set Lee off. Sheila explains she wouldn't answer her inquiries. She can't let that go. Deacon wonders what happened. Sheila says she wouldn't answer me. They go over the shooting. Sheila objects that Luna just lost control. Sheila says she and Lee are both grieving. All she asked was to visit her grandchild to pay her final respects to her. Lee just got all huffy with her. Deacon Sheila B&B.